Good morning. I am slept and recovered from my late night last night, getting back here. And I'm hanging out with Melvin. Be going to work soon. And I was thinking about my blog, and I was thinking about the fact that I'm doing this every single day. And as a result of that, it's not like I'm going to have like really massive, huge revelations every single day. Although there's an awful lot that this has been encouraging me to think about, which is really cool. Um, but in the grand scheme of things, as I've been thinking, um, you know, to be really honest, my life is kind of boring. I mean, I get up, I go to work, I do my job, I play some softball, or I go to the gym. I cook some really tasty food. Maybe I can show you some of that stuff. But in the grand scheme of things, whoa, hi Mel. What are you doing, buddy? Besides the fact that Melvin is jumping around in my lap, things in my life aren't super, you know, dramatic or hectic or anything. And as a person with bipolar disorder, it's not like every day is a roller coaster, at least for me. I'm not saying that other people don't have different experiences, but for me, the sort of cycles that I go through tend to move pretty slowly. I said I'm manic maybe 3, 4 times a year. Depression is kind of mild, but it really just depends on the situation and the circumstance. But I think it's a really good thing for my life to be kind of boring and for me to be talking about how I'm feeling, which today is I'm feeling tired but grounded. And I'm definitely feeling rather peaceful internally, which is a really good thing for me because I have some stuff I have to take care of today at work, and I'm feeling very much like it's gonna be a good day for productivity. But in the grand scheme of things, I'm totally okay with my life being boring. I'm totally okay with sharing that with you all. And first off, for myself, from a selfish perspective, more boring my life is, the less it means that my bipolar disorder is impacting me. And it's not to say that the exciting parts of my life are as a result of that. I think I do a lot of really interesting and very exciting things. But when it comes to my mental illness, I'm more than happy for things to be dull. The more dull things are, the more likely it is that I'm having fun, I'm feeling productive, that I am living my life the way that I choose, and that I'm in the driver's seat on that. And I think it's really good for people who are listening, people who are watching, because I think that we get really intense, really stereotyped representations of mental illness in the media and in movies and all of these different places. And I think that it's really good to see somebody who is living with mental illness day-to-day basis, and whose life isn't all drama, and it is relatively, not always perfectly, but relatively in control. A person who is managing that illness, and um, whose life has a little bit of that boring feel to it. The mundane, the things that we do on a daily basis that quite often get disrupted by mental illness. Those are really important and very cherished things. And so, I'm pretty excited to be able to show you the boring in my life. If for no other reason, then that means that my life's going pretty well. But also because I think it's really important for us to have strong representation of the realities of mental illness. And yes, some of those realities are awful, and yes, they're painful. And I am unbelievably fortunate and privileged to have bipolar disorder, which is, I'm bipolar 2, which tends to be a much milder series of symptoms. It has directly impacted my life, and it has made things more difficult for me. But in the grand scheme of things, I am very privileged and fortunate that my mental illness does not impact me so much that I'm dealing with pain and drama every day. But I do think that there's a lot of people for whom mental illness is relatively just a part of their lives. It's something that they fold in. It's something that just happens, and they're able to manage it. And I think that's a really good thing because there are a lot of people out there that feel like maybe they're not going to be able to get there, that maybe their lives are always going to be painful. And I just like to say to folks, hey, shoot for that boring and, get the help and the treatment you need. But also recognize that help and treatment doesn't fix everything. I'm a person who's going to be living with this the rest of my life, which is why boring is something that I love to celebrate. So, yeah, I'm going to get myself ready for work. Say goodbye, Melvin.